Everybody wants a whole turkey on Thanksgiving, but they do not want this.
Stay inside, so. Whoa!
And so in order for that not to be you, thankfully you are watching this video today, and we're gonna show you everything you need to know to stay away from that, keep your family, your house, everything safe, and enjoy a juicy, flavorful, crispy turkey for you and your family. Let's get to it. The most important thing that I'm gonna start with that you absolutely need is the great outdoors. You don't want anything above you. Do not do this inside, not in your garage, not anywhere in your house, not anywhere near your house. I got plenty of space around me where I got big buffer zone of things that are flammable. The next thing you need, nice big pot. This is a heavy duty stock pot. They sell aluminum ones nowadays. Nice lid to hold that heat in there. Gloves, you're gonna be handling, hot turkey, hot grease. Leather ones are good too. These are just some grilling gloves. I like them because they're nice long cuffs in case something splashes on you. So this is just a really long stem type thermometer. It's got this little hook on here, so it hooks on the pot right here, away from the edge. And so you always know what the temperature oil is. Speaking of thermometers, you wanna know what your bird is. So I got an instant read thermometer here. Wireless thermometers are great too, so you don't have to keep poking it. See, this is what we're gonna set the turkey on. This is the hook. It's hooked not in the right way. So we're gonna put the raw turkey on here, and then this is how we're gonna lower it down into the oil like that. Now let's go over here and talk about the fryer itself. What we got here, of course, is a propane tank. I like to make sure I get a nice full one. So Thanksgiving Day, you don't have to scramble to find one, thing like that. This is the burner that we're using. For about 3 years or so, I had one that I bought from, sporting goods store that had a lot of extra features, to help keep you safe, a lot of just in case things. 4th year I went to use it and I could not get it to light. Couldn't get the gas to flow or anything like that. So that's when I finally invested in just a nice heavy duty burner like this. The steps I'm gonna show you here in a little bit, you won't have to worry. We're gonna have next to zero risk of exploding turkeys that we all like to watch on YouTube. That's all right. You gotta know exactly how much oil to put in there. And so let's go ahead and get the turkey prepped and we'll get to that. We're getting this turkey ready for the fryer. First step is just removing all the stuff you don't need that comes with the turkey. We got a nice, 10 to 15 pound turkey. I believe this one was about 13 pounds. So we're gonna remove this plastic trussing. We're gonna get out the paper bag of giblets, get out the neck, put all that aside. Make sure you got everything. Any last bits of paper. What is this? It's a coupon code for nationwide shipping. Turkey Tube. If you type in Turkey Tube on our website, blacksbbq.com, go to nationwide shipping. Till the end of this year, 2025, you can get 10% off all of your shipping products that we ship all 50 states. So Turkey Tube, enjoy guys. In order to get the crispiest skin possible, we need this fat underneath. No leaves in it. You want the fat underneath the skin to render because there's a lot of water held up in there, and so water causes soggy skin. So to get that crispy skin and help that fat render, we're just gonna start sticking our fingers in here nice and gently and just peeling back the layers in that membrane to help separate the skin from the muscles. You don't wanna rip the outside skin because there's already some holes from the processing plant. We don't wanna make those any larger. And the other thing it's gonna allow us to do is get some seasoning under there. We did wet brine this, as I mentioned earlier, with salt and water solution, but I like to add a little bit more salt directly onto the meat because turkey needs as much help as it can get. If I'm just dry brining, I'm gonna use a lot more salt, but I'm just gonna use like a little pinch, maybe half a teaspoon or so per section. And so rub the thigh and the leg, which that little half teaspoon gets a little bit of black pepper in there and just a little bit of extra salt. So now we've got a beautiful turkey. The skin is all kind of loosey-goosey and everything. That's why I have some toothpicks here. So I'm gonna get this skin exactly where I want it. I'll pull it back. I'm gonna tuck it down into the legs here. Keep gravity from doing its thing. Just grab some toothpicks right here. And I'm gonna just stick it right here through the skin and the muscle. It's right there. Still some of it poking out, of course, so I don't forget them that they're there. That's just to hold the skin in place while it gets set up. So of course on the outside, make sure it's as dry as possible, but don't forget there can be little puddles of turkey juice on the inside, top and bottom. Just as much of that condensation, water and everything you can get out of there that's not supposed to be there. You want the juices in the muscles, not just sitting on top, because that's all gonna get cooked away and it can be dangerous, and also it can inhibit the crispy skin. Let's go ahead and get the stand on here. I like to go in through the neck and have that be on the bottom, so that way this white meat is completely submerged the whole time. And you just gotta kind of find your way through there. Try not to rip any of the skin. I've left a lot of that extra neck skin on there just because it's gonna get nice and crispy and it's gonna be a little crunchy that may or may not make it inside. Might just be my little treat. And you just pull that up through there. and it's not going to stand straight up for you until it's actually in the grease. And so that's basically it. This is ready to take to the pot, and we'll measure it for how much oil to put in. What a lot of people do is they'll put the turkey in here just like this, and then they'll pour water in here to measure the displacement, about how much water they're supposed to put in. They'll kind of mark a line or somehow remember how much is in there, and then they'll remember that, pour out the water, and then remember how much oil to put in, and have to dry off the turkey. And it's like too many steps, too many things to remember, especially when you got all your family and all your crazy relatives there at Thanksgiving. They say, I'm hungry, when's the turkey gonna be done? So what I've always done is I put my turkey in here, and I get my oil, and I just pour the oil in over the raw turkey. Everything's cold, nothing is on, all the gas is off, there's no fire, anything like that. So what's the easiest way to avoid an exploding turkey? Not have fire, turn off the fire. That's gonna be a theme for us right now, is turning off the fire. So still everything's cold. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this up to where it just barely covers the turkey. And then we will remove the turkey and then start heating up the oil. And then we'll put the turkey back in there. So that way we know exactly how much oil is supposed to be in there. We're not adding any excess water. We don't have to pat it down. We have to remember exactly where things are supposed to be. So even this whole thing, because I've got a bigger pot, barely is enough to cover that turkey. So I might add a little bit more once we get it going. But remember, once it starts heating and bubbling and everything, that's all gonna bubble up. So even though the tail and the little bits of the legs are slightly not covered, if you don't have any extra oil, that's okay. But I'm not gonna add any extra oil until after it started cooking, just to really make sure that we are perfectly safe. So we'll go ahead and get this taken out, put in a pan, and we know we don't have too much oil. It's not too close to the top. It's covering the turkey. Got plenty of room to avoid this. Just in case, I didn't measure my oil right or something like that, I'm just gonna wrap it around this rubber part of the hose of the gas, just in case some oil did splatter out or something, just in case. They do build these hoses to be heat resistant and stuff, but when it's my house and my family on the line, I'm taking any little step I can. And now it's time to start preheating our oil. We've got our lighter. I've had the tank completely off, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that all the way on, and we're gonna turn that on just barely. You wanna make sure that the flames here are a nice blue kind of cone shape on there, controlling the mix of oxygen. And I went ahead and made a mistake there. We're going to go ahead and turn off the gas. So I got the mix of oxygen and gas off, and so I actually blew out my own flame. And then when I adjusted it, it reignited and poofed me a little bit, burned my arm hairs a little bit. So whenever that happens, you just turn everything off, take a breath, let's try again. All right, so we're gonna start this on low. There we go. So we got a nice clean flame going. So you don't really wanna see yellow, you wanna see a nice blue flame. That's how you know you got a nice efficient burn. Just about 80, 90 degrees, because it's Texas, it's November, but still it's almost 90 degrees outside. We're gonna go ahead and get the lid on there. You never wanna step away from here. Always make sure you have a buddy system with your fryer. Nobody leaves this area. You want to always be within about a 10-foot radius, that way, just in case this happens. Yeah. So we've been hanging around the smoker about 10, 15 minutes, and we just passed 250 degrees Fahrenheit. It's between 250 and 260 right now. And so to avoid this,
watch your feet.
We're gonna go ahead and turn off the fire, because you can't have an explosion without fire. So that's one of the main ways to avoid it. So we've killed all the gas on both things. So I like to be redundant and don't always trust this, always turn off the tank. And then the other thing, just in case this happens, you wanna make sure you have one of these. Don't just rely on the dirty old one that's in the back of your pantry or something that you've had for 10 years. Make sure you have, this is a 10-pound fire extinguisher, ABC rated one. Make sure you have a relevant one. They'll last for years. You can get them inspected just for a little bit of money every year. Remember, I mentioned we only got this up to 250 degrees. We're gonna cook at 350, but we're gonna add this big ball of water, basically. That's what mussels and stuff are, at 250, just to eliminate some of the bubbling. So it's just less risk of bubbling over and causing you know what. That oil is 250 degrees. I heard that splatter and realized, oops, I don't want my hands anywhere near that, and I don't want to drop it in there and cause a splash. Even though we've got the flames off, we still want to do everything we can to avoid any splash or splatter or anything. All right, so I've got that in there, feeling good about it. And I'm just gonna lower it really slow. It's gonna make a lot of noise, but not as much as it would be once it's at 350. the explosion happens when they're putting in the turkey in there. And so starting it at a lower temperature, we're starting to get nice, gentle, rolling bubbles and frying without the steam and everything just kind of exploding up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this all the way up, and we're gonna get that oil up to 350 degrees. And we're gonna cook this about 3 minutes per pound. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna always wanna make sure that this doesn't get over 375, really. Want to keep just making those adjustments till it gets dialed in, because I've got the burner on high just to get that oil up in temperature as fast as we can. But then I'm gonna just need to kind of, babysit a little bit, kind of tweak it a little bit where it doesn't get too low, doesn't get too hot. And we're gonna let this baby cook. It's been about an hour. We checked the temperature, the thickest part of the white meat, and it's 165. We got the gas turned off, because anytime you're doing anything with the turkey, you want that gas turned off just in case, the oil spills over or anything like that. There's nothing that's gonna light it on fire. And so I've got my heat-proof, grease-proof gloves on here. Just go ahead and hook that nice. And we're just gonna lift that up slowly, admire that color. We're gonna let a lot of that grease kind of drip off. And some parts might have gotten a little more done than we want, but that's okay. Nice and careful with that. All right, my mouth is watering. I've already taken a few bites of the skin, the crispiness, but let's go ahead and see what we're working with here. Look at that. That nice, juicy white meat right there. And that skin on there. Still hot, so I'm impatient. The meat is tender, the white meat's juicy. You can see it glisten here in the sun. It's a little on the salty side, but not too much. Because remember, turkey needs all the help it can get a lot of times. So having that extra salt is just gonna make that all your pecan pie and pumpkin pie taste all the better. So thankful for everybody here on this community. So thankful everybody comes to Lockhart, Austin, New Braunfels, San Marcos. We love you guys. We hope you have a really great holiday season with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we hope to see you around one of the stores one of these days. Love y'all.